That's right. You are victorious in spite of. I know it's easier said than done. It is. I kid you not. Been there many times. Gonna go again. I kid you not, boy. Like trying to work and be a grown up and work out on a regular basis. Oh my God. That is a stretch. But you know what? I guess you need maybe somebody that's always talking to you and say, hey, okay, let's go. Because if you do it on your own, boy, it becomes a bear. Good morning. How are you? What's your day like so far? And it's pretty good. And it's rapidly getting better. This is the Great Gospel Experience, sponsored by Evangelist Felicia Davis and the 24-hour prayer line. And it goes like this. If you need prayer for any of life's many challenges, and you, like all of us, you do have them, don't you? If you say you don't have them, you're just simply lying. So stop it. The 24-hour prayer line is available to you. Evangelist Felicia Davis and her staff are there to pray for you and to pray with you. They can be reached at 314-312-7680. That's Evangelist Felicia Davis and the 24-hour prayer line, 314-312-7680. The 24-hour prayer line is a sponsor of the Great Gospel Experience. And Al McDonald on KXCN, 1010 AM and 104.5 FM, Faith Talk for St. Louis.
Let me tell you something. Come on, put your hand right there. On my way home. On my way home. On my way home. Yeah. Come on, put your hand home. On my way home. On my way home. Come on, Lord. Please, Lord. Yeah. Listen, I have to cry. How many of y'all have to cry? I have to cry sometimes.
KXEN 1010 AM and 104.5 FM, Faith Talk for St. Louis, a mail course special with Fix It Jesus. There you go. And once again, in case you all forgot, that St. Louis is a quartet town. It's a quartet town. It is. Quartet, young and old. They get together and set it off in a major way. Before I get started, Incarceration 2 Incorporation presents the Overlooked Conference, uniting with incarcerated and returning citizens as a faith-based community. Interested in a jail or prison ministry? Looking for ways your church can support returning citizens? The Overlooked Conference is for you. It's all going down on Saturday, April 27th. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be at the New City Fellowship Church, and they are located at 1483 82nd Street Boulevard in University City, Missouri. Here's what you got. You'll get to hear from ministry leaders who are already engaged in serving incarcerated and returning citizens and have the opportunity to join the conversation in breakout sessions and panel discussions. All right? Through the Overlook Conference, you will walk away with a new vision, strategic partnerships, and practical ways to get involved. The conference is $20 and includes a lunch. Now, if you need more information, call a good friend of mine, Pastor Steve. He's at 314 area code 698-9229. That's Pastor Steve Moore. He's at 314-698-9229. And once again, I have a lovely guest in the studio this morning, in the person of, in the essence of, in the spirit of one, Dr. Sister Linda M. Walsh. I keep saying Walsh. It's not W-A-L-S-H, it's W-A-S-H. I'm sorry, capital W-A-S-H. Welcome, Miss Linda.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm just excited as heck to have you here with your bad self, boy. Now, she has written a book, folks. It's called The Psychodynamics of Finances. And she and a good friend of mine, Marty Atkins, man, they sent me back to the drawing board to do some homework, and I went back and I did some stuff, because they gave me the book earlier, and I glanced at it, and then it's all right, go back and read it again, Junior, so that's what I did. Anyway, I got stuck on chapter 1 because she's talking about credit and a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. About how we all get jacked into stuff, as a result of wanting more money and things like that, because, she was able to I'm able to relate to it because she's talking about all of us, or many of us. According to the Center for Responsible Lending, a not-for-profit organization that works to protect home ownership and family wealth by fighting predatory lending practices. I got ahead of myself there. Missourians pay 400% interest on payday loans. Approximately 75% of the volume for payday lenders comes from churning, relending money to the same borrower who is often clenched in a debt trap. Then she goes on, here's more. Car dealers, check this out. Car dealers, they charge $374 million in interest rate overcharges in the state of Missouri alone, with $145.6 million in overcharges on new cars and $228.5 million in interest rate overcharges on used cars. Home equity losses in Missouri due to foreclosures from 2009 to 2012 total $5.9 billion compared to $1.9 trillion nationwide. All right, Dr. Sister Linda, speak to that. Good Lord, man. But now that's the only part of it. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here that I ran across. I'm scratching my head and going, oh, Jesus Christ. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, these are startling statistics, but they're realities. Behind every number is a family. It's a man, a woman, a child, and that impacts all of them.
Sure.
And what happens is unfortunately, there are different situations that get people in the position to use payday loan stores, to not be aware that car dealers are charging them more, and to understand that when there's a massive foreclosure or there's a housing crisis, that it has impacted us in such a way that it's difficult to recoup from this. I think it's important to know what's going on first. If you know what's going on, then you use the psychodynamics of finances, which understanding the emotions and the thought process that shape our financial behavior, we can gain control of what we do with our money.
Um, oh, I was reading, and he goes down here on page 10. He goes, it's not just advertising that impacts our daily lives, but how we categorized by lenders and merchants. Our financial viability is largely based on our ability to obtain and manage credit. Credit is defined as a consumer's ability to make purchases, obtain services, or borrow money based on the consumer's promised ability and demonstrated willingness to repay. See, there's so much there. And as we talk about the payday loans and that type of thing, uh, it happens many times when we feel, say, well, I just want to get a 500 bucks and that'll get me through and I'll be all right. No,
Well,
no.
it, a lot of times people use payday loan stores because they have been shut out of the traditional banking system.
Exactly. Yes.
And there may have been some mistakes that they've made, but they are no longer eligible for a checking account. So they use payday loan stores, and they're legal. There's nothing illegal about a payday loan store. The bad part about the payday loan store is that there's no economic freedom from them. Once you get in there, they keep relending you the same money,
At a higher
and it
interest.
costs you the cost that they're charging is ridiculous. But if you look at, there's a study out, and if you go to, you can go Google it. It's on YouTube. It's called Spent Looking for Change. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Spent Looking for Change. And what it does is a video, and it shows how the banking system was set up and how the payday loan systems are set up. And there's an illustration of how the churning occurs that's relending the same money to the same people, and how check cashing stores basically bring in $8.1 billion a year, which is the same amount of money that every American spends on food every year.
Whew, man. You also talk about credit and credit scoring have crept into almost every aspect of our lives. Here's a list of some areas in life where our financial behavior patterns come into play. Okay, opening a checking account, obtaining a major unsecured credit card, obtaining a consumer loan, obtaining a job, obtaining a job promotion. Your credit score hangs on a promotion?
Oh, yes. It depends
Really?
on the type of job that you're in.
Yeah.
And if you are in a situation where they feel that your integrity is at play in promoting you in the job, they will run your credit again or use the credit that they have on file with you to determine whether or not they're going to promote you. Now, will they tell you that? No.
No.
They will not tell you that, but
No.
believe me, they're using it. Now, one person that will tell you is the States government, because oftentimes when you work for companies that have security clearances, your credit is an important factor in that security clearance. Not only does your credit come into play, but also the credit of your family comes into play.
Whew.
And I found that out firsthand because both of my sons work for the federal government, and they had to get my social security number, and they ran everything on me as a form of a background check and a security clearance for them.
Man. Okay, another one. I understand the part about, checking your credit score when you're purchasing a home. Purchasing furniture or household appliances. That too?
Yes, yes, that too.
Ah, okay. All right. And let's see what else. Renting an automobile, securing a hotel reservation.
Yes, when they get a credit card, they want to make sure it's something on it. You cannot secure a hotel room with a credit card with a zero balance or with zero ink uh, credit on it. It
Okay.
has to have some room.
Okay. Now some of these, I readily understand why. Like renting an automobile, securing a
Hmm.
hotel reservation, obtaining utility services. Okay, leasing a home, leasing an apartment, refinancing a home, purchasing an office building. Okay, that's real estate. Leasing an office space. Okay, purchasing insurance, automobile and home. That too.
Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. Because they look at your credit rating as the likelihood of you to possibly stage an accident in the home or otherwise to get them to create, uh, to refurbish your house for you. There have been incidences where people with not so good credit have gone in a house, turned on the faucet, left for vacation, come back, and the insurance company has to refurbish the house. So they charge us more if our credit is not good.
Man,
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
So, people of God, get your credit score together. Just in case you just joined us, this is KXEN 1010 AM and 104.5 FM Faith Talk for St. Louis, and we're talking to author Ms. Linda M. Wash, capital WASH. I'm trying to get it together as much as I possibly can. She has written a book. She's the author of a book titled The Psychodynamics of Finances. It's an awesome book. Like I was talking off the air earlier, we were discussing, the workshops and seminars that I'm that I'm hearing and seeing from time to time that are inviting everybody out to come out and learn how to flip houses, learn how to, and there's nothing wrong with that. Come out and flip houses, come out and buy houses. You can be a millionaire. They got this one lone person that's a success story that they always just places before you. They've gone out and they've tied up about 10 houses on the wall. They got it all written down there. It looks great, very enticing. Now, in my lifetime, I've gone to about 5 or 6 of those kind of seminars, and I always came away so disappointed because when I left, I found out after I was there for like maybe an hour and a half. They said, "Well, if you only have $1,000, I mean, this is a course for $3,000, but today is going for 1,000. So you got $1,000. You can get this course and you can get started Monday morning." I'm going, "Oh man." now, now here's the other thing. Here's the other dynamic of this book. Well, there are many. The other one that I was impressed with is the fact that Dr. Sister Linda Walsh here. she's she's done. She's been in real estate for 25 years. She's a realtor and she's a broker as well. And she has done some extensive research in real estate. Now, if you ever want to get in touch with her, get a book or either is there a phone number, website?
Yes, phone number 361-3900 for real estate, 330-2786 for the book.
Awesome. There you go. There you go. Now, I was talking to your publicist, uh, the super the superwoman herself, Maria Atkins.
Yes, she's wonderful.
Yeah, she said she's setting up a book tour for you. So where you headed? You going down south?
Yes, we're looking at different places, definitely down south because she has some connections in Atlanta. But we're going to keep everybody posted
Please
once
do.
we get it done so that we're going to do something here in St. Louis as a kickoff before we go to our other states.
Okay. More of the book that I went through making notes. Let's see. The logic they employ is this: if your credit is bad, you are a high risk. You are a high risk client and are more likely to try to acquire money or a refurbished home or home by staging accidents. That you just mentioned that too.
Yes.
Uh, the last one is unconscionable but true. Certain persons, certain persons may not be able to receive willed assets. And this is really bizarre. Certain persons may not be able to receive willed assets if they have bad credit. And you go on to say that I have firsthand knowledge of a situation where a sole heir had to renounce their rights to all the assets of a deceased close relative due to their inability to obtain a surety bond. So, in order to obtain a surety bond, you need to have a pretty good credit score.
Yes, you do. And unfortunately, in the state of Missouri, they
Good
require
Lord.
you to have a surety bond before you're able to open up an estate. to receive willed assets. This scenario is playing out all over the country. And let me make this clear.
Sure.
People don't have bad credit because they choose to.
Exactly.
I don't know if people realize it, but when the economy fell to the worst level that it has ever fallen in our time, we went to sleep paying 5% interest on our credit cards and woke up and they were 27 and 29%. And we had great credit. When our neighbor foreclosed on their house, that brought down the value of the house in in every house in that neighborhood. Everyone that paid their house note, they still lost value. So everyone got hit. It There were so many economic holes to fall in. So I want people to know that if you do not have the best credit, a lot of times it's not your fault. And if it is your fault, forgive yourself, get the book, and let's move on to a better place.
In order to get the book, once again, how do they do that?
It's on Amazon.com
Hmm.
and you can order it there. But if anyone out there wants a personalized autographed copy, please call me at 330 2786, area code 314. That's 330 2786. And if we get a tremendous demand, we will definitely get you an autographed copy and set up at your place of business and sign some copies for the consumers.
Okay, now what is the best way for one, for a person that has a lousy credit score due to things uh, not what they've done, but because of, they may have, okay, how about this, co-signing co-signing for somebody, and as a result of you co-sign for someone to get furniture, to get a Mongolian meat muncher, or either to get an egg beater or something like that, and they wind up getting busted, and they go out to try to rent a car for the weekend to take a trip or something like that, and they can't do it because they got a lousy credit score. They go, wait a minute, why is that? Well, I see where you co-signed for your little cousin here to get a weave, and it fell through. You know? How? Because like I'm also hearing there's a lot of advertising taking place now in terms of raise your credit score. Give us a call. It won't cost you much. You know. And what is the best way to do that? How would one go about raising the credit score?
The first thing you need to do is to visit the Federal Trade Commission, visit their website.
Okay.
It's called ftc.org,
Yeah. Okay.
federaltradecommission.org. They have steps on there that you can do that can help you to improve your credit, and they will also tell you that the credit repair people cannot do any more than what for you than what you can do for yourself. You can choose to pay someone to do it, but be careful because the claims that they make, they're not going to make things evaporate. You still have to work at getting them cleared off or either create new credit for yourself. And in the book, I have a chapter actually dedicated to that.
Okay.
The first step in getting your credit to a better place is to keep a positive attitude. Without a positive attitude, you're going to be defeated. It's going to be very difficult. Then you want to make sure once you have that positive attitude, you go into attack mode. Everyone gets a free copy of their credit report every year. You go to annualcreditreport.com. That's another website that the government authorizes. Annualcreditreport.com. When you go there, you can either get it online or there's a number that you can call. Every year, you get the opportunity to look at your credit. The third thing you need to do is get a partner. Get somebody who wants to see you succeed. Tell them what your goals are, and then make sure that these people, your partner, will help encourage you, will help you get to another place, and they won't tell your business. then
That's
recognize.
going to be hard to do because
Yeah, well,
they,
we always have one person
yeah, and
that we can
I
confide
think they all left town because I think we're becoming a Facebook and Spacebook and Spire. No, that's the utility company.
right, right,
Twitter and Tweety and all this other good stuff, man. Well, I'm just gonna put it out there. They won't know who did it. Well, I mean, somebody need to know that. No, they don't need to know. Leave our stuff alone, my, you know.
right. Well, I've had when the economy fell, the real estate market fell. I was in residential and commercial real estate. They both fell at the same time.
Yeah,
And I talk a little bit about the experience that I had.
exactly.
And I had to come, you know, repair some credit issues as well. So I've been there. I understand what it feels like. It's a bad feeling. And I had to actually read my own book to help me. And my part, I did. I mean, I found myself sitting down like, how did I get here? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I wrote a book about it. Let me read my book. And I actually went step by step, and my was my father because
Awesome.
he was my best friend, and I could tell him anything and he would not judge me. And I just laid everything out to my dad, and I said, this is what I'm dealing with, and this is what I'm going to do to help get to a better place. So daddy, when I do this, I'm coming to you for advice because these are the steps. I did not go to him for money. I went to him for advice. I just wanted him to be there with me and walk with me through that difficult point. Because not only did the market go down for me, but my health went down at the same time. And the cost of staying alive was prohibitive for most people. And I had to make a choice. Do I pay my bills or do I pay my medicine and treatment? I paid the medicine and treatment. And so there were some issues that I had to deal with. And life shows up for everybody.
Yes.
Life shows up for
Yes.
everybody, and especially in this environment where people are only going to be on a job for 3 or 4 years at a time. There is always going to be a time for adjustment. And then we can't change who we are, what we do, as far as our compassion towards others. I had a sick mother that I took off to help my dad with. I wasn't going to change that for anything in the world. I don't regret any of that. I don't care what trouble it caused or what type of difficulty I ran into. I do it all again. So there are certain things that we're going to do that we should not change, but we have to figure out how do we work within the parameters of the system to get back to a better place.
Everybody within the sound of our voice, they that that hear us now, they want more, which is this. I think it is simply the natural progression of life, to want more, and in wanting more, I feel not that I know, but I strongly feel that there is a difference between wanting more and simply lusting. If you want more, I think and I feel that it's not that you want more to ego trip and that type of thing. You just want a better life for your family and yourself. That's it.
That's right.
No more, no less.
We're built to be rewarded. We
Yes.
are built to
Yes.
be rewarded, and
Yes.
we have to reward ourselves. We cannot work, 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 pay, pay, pay.
But
You
that's
know,
what we are. We stuck on that treadmill. That's what we. Oh man, that's where most of us are because I'm reminded many times when I was younger, and I guess in my 30s and 40s, and one time when I got laid off. No, I got fired in '84 from a job that I another radio station, and I got this part-time job, and the most they would let you do was like at that time was 39 hours, I think it was,
mhm,
because
mhm.
I was what they call a part-time casual. And man, I was working so doggone tough till on a couple of times I jumped up out of bed going to work thinking that I was late.
Oh,
Yes, I did that. I get all. I was working at Sears warehouses at what they call a casual, a part-time casual, out there. It was located at 270 in Lindbergh, in that area. And so I get out there, and the supervisor meets me at the door. He said, "Mac, what are you doing here?" I said, "Am I working today?" He said, "No, man, go back home."
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I speak to that in the book.
Hmm.
Part of getting back on your feet too is rewarding yourself. but you have to make sure that the reward that you get for every credit and financial milestone that you make does not sabotage your whole plan. So that is where I think a lot of times we look at what we believe that we need, but what we really need, we need God first. We need the Lord. We need our families to love us. We need them to be happy and healthy. We need those things more than we need anything else. But in the process of that, as far as the rewards that we take financially, all of that has to be in order.
Man, oh man. As you were talking about that, I'm reminded many times, you know, and traveling and knowing people and that type of thing. From time to time, I would hear somebody say, "Man, you know what? It is so rough being an adult, man, paying all these bills and blah blah blah." And I'm thinking to myself, well, nobody forced you to pay them. I mean, nobody forced you to acquire the bills and all this other good stuff. So you have to pay them. And I understood later on, how why they felt that way. And I would also hear from time to time, well, I'm not gonna pay a bill. I'm not gonna pay a bill this week, boy. I'm gonna reward me. You know,
Hmm.
I'm getting me a pair of shoes or something like that, a pair of slacks or a suit and that type of thing. And and I began to understand as time progressed on that how critical it is for all of us to be aware and exposed to um, goal setting and financial planning and living out of a budget and stuff like that. For the longest time, I thought nobody had a budget or should have a budget, but the federal, state, and local government. I didn't. Nobody ever told me that it applied to your family. I found out later on. I'm going, oh God, yeah. See, I'm a late bloomer. I am.
Well, one of the things that the book has is the book has 10 financial behavior models, and you will see
I saw
yourself
that.
in one of those models.
Man.
It's important to know what your financial behavior model is. That will determine where you are so that you know where you have to go. And when it comes to budgets, I have some news for you. I'm a Freddie Mac Credit Smart certified trainer, and they do not use the term budget anymore.
Oh,
No,
why?
they use the term spending plan. And the reason why, when they start using the word spending plan, the credit scores went up and they're higher now than they've ever been for some people
Mm,
since they've been keeping record. The reason why, because budget is a restrictive term.
yeah,
And
I can see that.
spending plan, how are we going to get together and spend our money, is more positive. And it talks about the action of spending, which is what people like to do. But it's a controlled spending. So if you use the word spending plan, people gravitate to it. If you have a budget and you go over budget, they throw it out the window and don't look at it for 3 or 4 months. If you say spending plan, okay, if we spent a little more over here, we cannot spend more over there. It's a psychological impact that it has on people. So as I'm teaching, I use the term spending plan.
Well, I can see where it works. Budgeting mean, oh man, I got to do without, not do without. I got to do without this
Yes,
and do without that.
exactly.
I don't want to do without anything.
Exactly.
Not not do without.
Right.
Yeah, you have to make the sacrifice. Are you doing it in the seminars and workshops around the city of St. Louis?
I am working with several companies. I'm working with Habitat for Neighborhood Business. We work with entrepreneurs, and we actually use the concepts in this book to help teach them
They should.
on how to be better entrepreneurs and so that they can understand what the consumers are thinking and who can afford your product and how is it that the need is attained. And if they understand the financial behavior models of the consumer, they'll be better entrepreneurs.
Well, you know what? Just in case you just joined us. Once again, this is KXEN 1010 AM and 104.5 FM, Faith Talk for St. Louis, and we are talking with local author, uh, Sister Linda M. Wash, capital WASH, because I've been mispronouncing her last name for the longest time. I kept saying WALSH, but it's capital WASH. And in case you want a copy of the book, you can reach her. How do they get in touch with you again?
314-330-2786,
Uh-huh.
or you can order it at Amazon.com.
Okay.
Hmm.
So are you doing anything this week?
No, not this week.
Not this week.
No.
How about
No.
next week?
Well, I'm always working and talking to entrepreneurs every day,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Now,
So, but as far as a formal seminar, Madia and I are working on that.
all right, Madia, come on, quit dragging your feet. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, because I wanna be there on the front row when you give that seminar on how to buy property with no money down. That's what I want.
Oh yeah.
How to buy
Well,
property? Okay.
I don't, I don't, I don't tell people that. You have to have money to buy property. You have to have a lot of money. People are selling systems, so
Ah.
you have to be careful.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right.
Yes.
Blessings to you. Thank you so much for dropping by and spending some time with me
Oh,
and
thank you,
and,
Al.
and our radio family.
Yes,
Blessings to you and your family and all this other good stuff. And that's going to do it for me today. Um, keep in touch and let me know when you're on tour.
I will.
I want to show up one time and visit one of your seminars and learn some stuff.
Yes, I
I'm going to hang
will.
on to the book. I really am. I thank you for it. I appreciate you. Peace and blessings to you and your family.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thank you so much for listening. Have a great one. Enjoy this day that the Lord has made. Go outside and kick it and check on my elders too, okay? My elders, my senior citizens, and those of you that have these pets in the house and that type of thing, take them outside, let them get some air. All right? Do that. Blessings to you. Catch you on your next tour. People of God, thank you so much for hanging out with a guy like me on KXCN 1010 AM and 104.5 FM. This has been the Great Gospel Experience.